Hi, in this mini-series you'll learn how to create a basic map using OpenLayers. In this first episode, I'll show you how to add a map with a marker to your web page. In the following episodes, we'll work with simple geometries such as points and polygons in GeoJSON format. We'll change their style and add pop-ups. If you don't want to miss the next episode, subscribe to our channel now. To make it easier for you, I've written a tutorial so you can copy the code used in this video. You can find the link in the description below. I'm going to use Visual Studio, but you can use any code editor you like. First, create the basic HTML structure with head and body section. Next, go to the tutorial and copy the links to the JavaScript and CSS files into the head of your HTML document. Then, create a div element with the ID map. Your map will be rendered to this part of the web page. You can add CSS rules for the body and map elements. This will set your map to be full screen by having no margins or padding and using the absolute position. Next, create a script in the body section of your HTML file. Here we'll define a constant named map that will contain the new map. OL is a shortcut for OpenLayers. In this script, we'll define the layers, target and view for the map. In layers, we'll define the source of the base map. I'm going to use the basic style from MapTiler Cloud. Sign into MapTiler Cloud, select the map that you want, then scroll down. Just below the raster tiles title, you can copy the tile.json link. We also need to define in our code that we are using tiles. The source of our tiles will be tile.json. For tile.json, you need to define the URL and tile size. I'm using the 512 pixel tile. If you want to understand why it's good to use tiles and why you need to define the tile size, check out our Web Mapping Basics series. The link is in the description below. Target defines where to render the map. In our case, we already created a div with the ID map. View presents a simple 2D view of the map, and it's here that you can define what you will see when you open it. To do this, we need to define a new view component. This will contain center and zoom values. Geographical coordinates define the center in units of the current projection. The default projection is Web Mercator, which is the most common for web maps. If you don't know what zoom and projection are, check out our Web Mapping Basics series. Congratulations! You've just created a map with OpenLayers. Now let's add a marker. For this, we're going to create a new layer of the map, in which will be a point with an icon. Create a new variable, marker, and define a new vector layer. This layer will contain source and style. You will use a vector source. The source will contain features, and these features will have geometry from a point. A point is constructed from latitude and longitude. The style will contain a new style that has image as a parameter. For this, we're going to use an icon with a URL source. To make the marker visible, you will need to add another layer to the map. Type in map, add layer, marker. At first, the marker is connected from the center, not from the bottom as it should be. We can change that by setting an anchor. This defines the part of the image to place on the point. An anchor is a set of image coordinates given from the top left corner. You've just created a map with a custom marker in OpenLayers. If you found this tutorial useful, please like it and subscribe to our channel to see more of our videos. Bye for now.